Sims and Leon, your mom's favorite podcast. Trust me, I'm a mom.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the big show. We are live streaming on twitch.tv regular/Sims and Leon, or just wherever you're listening to this currently. I am Steve Gamble, professional comedian, depending on who you ask. Mixing it up on the ones and twos is Bricky Leon. And to my left, I got the incomparable Dustin Sims, a.k.a. Bustin' Scams, a.k.a. Bustin' Nuts all over your baby mama buddy.
Ooh.
Tell me about climate change.
Oh, climate change is in action here in the DFW area. Let me tell you, 70 degrees this time. I'm pretty sure we had the heater going last time. Yeah, I can't make it with mine, folks. Don't worry about the sweaters, even though Steve-O's got one on. I don't know how you're in there, bud.
I mean,
flip-flops.
When I put an outfit on in the morning, it sticks with it.
It sticks with it. I can smell.
Oh, you're a
You could take your cardigan off. You don't want to go jack it off in the studio?
Jack it off.
I put it on for the show. I haven't been driving around town all day wearing a sweater in 75-degree weather. I'm trying to be presentable for the viewers.
You are.
Of which we have many.
We do. Currently,
I did not make myself presentable.
Yeah, well, I hold myself to a high
we didn't wear the same
standard.
color today.
No, but
I did last time.
Yeah, I just wore pink.
Yeah.
I feel like today was a good pink day.
Instead of red. And who do we have on the hotline today?
Well, on the buy here, pay here, RV.com clean feed,
Right.
we have an old friend of mine, Laura.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Can you hear us very well?
I can.
Okay, good.
I can.
All right, so
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wait, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear
Okay,
you.
cool.
I could have heard you before too.
Wait, before?
Yeah, I haven't stopped hearing you since we texted.
She's trying to sneak in and get some money from Sprint real quick. I see what you did.
I thought they switched over to Verizon or something now.
It's one of those. That guy's just still making cash. I don't know how he's doing it.
Does Sprint even exist anymore?
I don't think so.
It's T-Mobile.
It's T-Mobile.
I still get a Sprint bill, though. I don't know how that works.
All right, Laura, the only thing I told these two gentlemen about you is that you are a flight attendant. And I think they don't know the full context of that.
That's okay, I don't either.
Nice.
So I reached out to you over the Thanksgiving break because I find that you have a lot of fascinating stories. And just the progress of your life that I've followed on Facebook is pretty awesome, I think.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do put out some pretty, I guess, awesome content. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I didn't really think so. I just put out there what I want people to know.
all right, so I think the most fascinating thing is your, maybe not your most fascinating, my first fascination would be your journey to becoming a flight attendant. When did that journey start?
Well, it all starts back when I was 5 years old. And I took the first flight that I remember flying on. Because I'm sure I had some before then, but I really don't remember them. But anyways, and then I remember meeting the pilots afterwards, and I got my wings because they were like, hey, thanks for flying, kid, and gave me my wings. It was great. And I remember telling my dad I wanted to be a pilot all my life. And then I realized you have to do a lot of math, and I'm not really that smart. So I decided pilotry wasn't for me. I don't know if pilotry is a word.
Pilotry does not sound like a word, but I love it.
Yeah, it's not a word, but it is now. So
I love
anyways, yeah, piloting wasn't for me, and I don't like driving either. So that's probably a reason why it also isn't for me. And so then I decided I love people. I love to serve people. So I wanted to be a flight attendant. So I actually.
So now, what age are you at this point when you decided you didn't like math, you didn't like driving?
Well, math is really not for me, so I don't really know any ages. It's just random throughout my life. Okay,
Good answer.
Let's not put a number on things.
Okay,
all
and you
right?
know how old you
Right.
are currently, right?
21 forever. So
Nice.
yes, we'll go with that. Yeah.
You should open a
So-
clothing store.
Really? You don't say. I think I might actually. I think I'll go worldwide.
That's probably a good name to start with, too.
Yeah, Forever 21. So that's a thing. And now I'm a millionaire or maybe a billionaire. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So
Okay, you had me confused. The store is going to be called Pilotry.
Yes.
That's
yes,
what I was
that is
referring to.
exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Thanks for that. Yeah. Pilotry.com. Coming to an internet near you. I don't know.
Get Doug Head involved, you'll be rich.
Yeah, he probably already owns it.
Oh yeah. Who's that?
Doug Head, he owns jerky.com.
Oh,
But-
like beef jerky?
Yeah,
He's
Well,
an e-commerce
It's your number
expert.
one supplier of all things jerky. So
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
different jerkies, over 100 different flavors.
Oh, you know what?
Does
I
he
think
have-
I actually listened to your show about those jerky things.
oh,
Yeah,
That was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Whenever, yeah.
that was Doug Head.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I did listen to him.
Yeah.
And if you don't remember, he
Okay.
did mention that they do have gift baskets for the holidays as well.
They do.
Oh yeah, they do. They do. So we can just put those on pilotry.com, and they're coming to an airfield near you.
Nice.
Fastest shipping around.
Yeah. Who needs FedEx anymore?
Yeah, pilotry.com.
Exactly.
All right, so you don't know how old you are, or back then. You just know you didn't want to drive, and you've eliminated the thought of being a pilot.
Pretty much so.
So is this when you went
So
to
I
flight
love
attendant
serving.
school?
This is not
Oh.
actually. Well, it's kind of when I applied for flight attendant school, and I got hired, but they wanted me to move to Boston. And I was like, I drive a truck, and I'm from Texas. I don't want to move to a big city where I can't pronounce my R's anymore, and I have to get rid of my truck because the city's too small. I didn't know what a city was, right? Like, I'm from the country, so I don't know how big trucks are going to get around in the city. So I was like, nah, I'm good. So I didn't take the flight attendant job, and I ended up joining the military instead because I wanted to fly.
Yeah.
So I figured the military would get me around the world. So that's what I did.
So what
The
branch of the
military.
military?
I joined the Air Force because, I
I
mean,
want to fly.
they're the ones with the airplanes.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise was in the Navy.
yeah.
He flew.
Yeah, but in the Navy, you wear bibs. I'm good. No thanks.
She didn't want to join like the 1940s Navy.
Yeah. And funny thing is, I just watched, what are those movies? Oh, yeah, Top Gun
Gun.
and Maverick. I just watched those like 2 weekends ago.
Oh, me too.
No, like I'd never seen either of them before.
Oh, see, I've seen the first one plenty of times. I most recently watched Maverick. And then
Yeah.
after watching it like once all the way through, I've just gone back and watched the flight scenes. They're the best ones.
Are they?
You're a child.
For the
Yeah.
the rest compared to the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movies. I'd never seen them before, but I heard they were really good. Apparently, Tom Cruise is like one of the major actors out there. So,
It's kind of a big deal, I
Yeah.
guess. So which one did you like better, the first one or the new one?
I liked Maverick better. But that's also because I don't know. I didn't get to see the one way back in the day when everyone else was like all about Top Gun. I was like, whatever.
Man, I feel like it's a general consensus because I also liked Maverick better, and I loved the first one.
Did you?
Yes, I absolutely loved the first one. I've watched it so many times when I was a kid growing up, and even from being a kid to now, I still watch it occasionally when it came on. But Maverick, I thought it was, I don't know, I like it better. I don't want to say it's a better movie. I just enjoyed it more.
Well, I mean, it's also
And no one dies. That probably
completely
helps.
different technology in the movie making. Even though I feel like it was ahead of its time whenever it came out back in the 80s too. Like it was really good film work.
Yeah.
But now it was really good. They did a good job with it. How they said it took forever to make too, right?
The first one?
Oh no, the Maverick one, the new one.
Oh, I'd
I think
imagine.
it's like 10,
Yeah,
10
because
years
I
in
think,
the making or
I
something.
think Tommy had all these criteria. He wanted everything had to be real.
He wanted to fly the damn planes.
He wanted to jump out
Crazy
of them.
motherfucker.
He said he wanted to actually have sex with Jennifer Connelly. He needed that part to be real too. Like a lot of demands.
Well, I did hear somewhere that they did in-flight recording all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like they were up there for hours in the planes flying around,
Right.
which I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I figured they just put them in a green screen and said, "Pretend you're flying the plane."
Yeah, I know.
All right, so you're in the Air Force now.
Yeah. How much does a flight attendant in the Air Force make?
The same as any other person in the Air Force at the same rank.
Nice.
So we don't get paid based on career fields. We get paid based on rank, independence. So
So
nothing out of the ordinary.
So when you first got in the Air Force, where was the first place you went to? Like for what, boot camp?
Basic
San
training?
Antonio.
Basic training?
Yeah, basic training, boot camp. It's all the same thing, depending on if you're talking slang or real.
I like to
yeah, we
slang
all
it
go down
around.
to. You like to slang the boot camp. Okay, so yeah, we go down to just San Antonio. Every Air Force personnel goes there for
So
basic military training.
is that strictly just Air Force that goes there? Do other branches go to San Antonio as well?
It is for boot camp, basic training, whichever. Air Force goes to San Antonio. Army goes to several different bases. I'm not sure exactly where. Marines go to several different bases. I'm not sure exactly where. I don't know. All I know is Air Force.
Okay, then that's all that matters. I was just curious if
Yeah.
other branches went to the same spot, but doesn't sound like they do.
They don't. No.
Do you ever work with the other branches?
Yes, actually, my second and my third duty stations were both joint bases. So I got to work with the Army, Navy, and Marines when I was in Germany, and I got to work with the Army again when I was in San Antonio when I went back there again after Germany.
Okay, so how long were you in San Antonio the first time?
6 weeks. It's just for basic training, and then you're done.
Then they ship you off somewhere else?
Then they do ship you off. Yep. Then you go to your technical training schools, or slang is tech school.
Yeah, so just tell me the story about you going through all that, and I'll ask questions as you go on instead of me asking questions, and then does that make sense? So let's just walk us through your entire Air Force journey.
Well, it all started when I joined the Air Force. I'm just kidding. You want to pick up where we left off? Okay.
Yeah.
So I left basic training after 6 weeks, and went to tech school. Went to Wichita Falls. Man, we're staying in Texas all over the place. Went there for about 6 weeks, and then went out to Mississippi for another 5 weeks. And then my first duty station was in Las Vegas, Nevada, which was pretty awesome. Getting stationed in Vegas for your first duty station can be pretty lethal.
So you're about
Because
7
what
months.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
So you're about 7 months in now, and now you're in Vegas?
I'm in Vegas, yes. And it was phenomenal. They are very military friendly. Everything is free there anyways, because, I mean, people pay to play and pay to stay, or I don't know how it works. But anyway, so they give everything us for free. So you never had to pay for anything. You didn't have to pay for food. You didn't have to pay for entertainment. It was phenomenal.
So they let you off for R&R, and everybody just wilds out.
Oh, that's not R&R. That's our new duty location. So you're working there. So it's like your job.
Yeah, but
so you go there to
you
work.
get a weekend off here and there or something, right?
So
get out and do stuff.
When you say it was your job, what was your actual job?
I was in the operating room as a surgical technician. So I was in the hospital.
Okay.
Doing something that I ever wanted to do.
Doing something you never wanted to do?
No, the Air Force gave me a job. I forgot to mention that. So I went to basic training without a job, didn't know where I was going, what I'd be doing. And the 5th week of basic training, a week before I graduated, I received a note on my pillow with my name, my social security number, and the job the Air Force was giving me. And I had 0 choices as to whether I took it or not, because you're just going to do what they tell you. And so I got that job, and I'm like, this is great.
All of a sudden, they're like, oh, people's lives are now in your hands.
Well, they're in the doctor's hands, but yes. Because, I mean, we have to know the surgery is better than the doc's, because what if the doc asked for a scissor and they meant a clamp? And so now, instead of clamping an artery, they're cutting an artery. I'm just saying it has happened.
That escalated quickly.
It escalates real quickly. Yeah. So, yes. So you have to know the surgery better than the doc, just in case they ask for the wrong thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting putting kids in hands of,
Especially when you got that Vegas hangover coming into work.
How much training did you get once you got your job assignment?
So you get what, like 12 weeks of training? And in normal, like civilian aspects, you would probably go to school for like 2 years to get your certification.
Yeah, I was going to say you're doing something
and we're doing like 12 weeks.
Yeah, you're doing something in 3 weeks that people do. Or, I'm sorry, 3 months that people do in 3 years.
Yes, and this is normal for the military, because you got to prepare to go to war, right? So like, we don't have time to sit here and give you 2, 3, 4 years of training. We got to pump you through so that you can get deployed. So that's kind of how the military works, on an accelerated basis.
So while you were working in Vegas, did you work for an actual hospital? Was it like a military base?
Yes, It's on the military installation, so you work at the military hospitals.
Okay, so you're not working like at the general hospital, not the one that on the TV show, but like the like Las Vegas pediatrics or whatever. You're not working at a public. Well, I'm not saying public. You know what I'm saying, right? Does anybody know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm not sure if I know what I'm
Yes,
saying.
but
Normal hospital.
you can. So there's this thing called moonlighting. So as long as you have your certification and you get signed off by the commander, you could go work in those generalized hospitals around the city.
Generalized. I
So
like
you
that.
could.
So could you still go do that if you wanted to?
If I wanted to, I do not.
Right.
Like, I didn't sign up for it, and I didn't fall in love with it once they gave it to me.
All right, I'll stop interrupting for a minute.
I did do that job for 7 years, and I was really good at it,
Damn.
but I did not like it. But when the military gives you something to do, do it full out, or at least that's my philosophy, right? Whether you want to or not, you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for your country or whoever you're working on, right?
What's the most memorable surgery that you did or you were a part of?
Well, the most memorable was in the middle of the night. So we also have an on-call phone, right? So you're on call for 24 to 48 hours or whatever it is. And I got called in to do an organ harvest, which is basically where someone is on their deathbed, and before they actually get the plug pulled, you go in and start taking out their organs.
Wow.
In order to give them to someone else who needs life, right?
So they're still technically alive at this time.
They are. So this kid he was a Marine. He had been in for approximately a year and a half, got deployed, and couldn't hack it while he was deployed. And so he ended up committing suicide. He hung himself by a noose. And then we kept him, or not us, but the ICU kept him alive for I think it was like 2 or 3 days. So his parents could come out. We were in Germany at the time. So his parents could come out, say goodbye. And then when his parents gave the okay, he was a vegetable anyway. When his parents gave the okay, then they called us in to do the organ harvest. And it was both the middle of the night. It's about 2:30 in the morning. We get the phone call to come do this 5-hour organ harvest in the middle of the night. And when we get in there, it was my first organ harvest in the first place, and taking someone's organs when they're alive but not really is an experience in itself. And he had a tattoo around his neck that says "Pain Earth the Year." But here he is. He's a kid, been in the military for a year and a half, and he committed suicide. So it's just like so surreal. And then you get some of the organs out. It is. And especially since you know the story, because you come from downrange and you get the story, and you don't always get the stories behind people, but this one you did. And so once you get some of the organs out, like you got the heart, you got the spleen, you got the lungs, you got all the ones that you needed him to be alive for, then they pull the plug, and you go from hearing the boop, boop, boop to nothing, and it's like dead silence. Like it is just like, what the heck? And that's when you take the eyeballs and the rest of the stuff. So like it's just like, wow, like did we just kill someone? But we didn't, right? Like that was part of the plan.
I mean, you can wrap your head around it in an intellectual way. That doesn't make it any less jarring and creepy.
So you
at 2:30 in the morning, you're already freaking out.
First of all,
So
getting pulled out of bed for it.
This may be a dumb question, but they've already kept him on the life support for 2 or 3 days. Why couldn't they do like 2 or 3 more hours just so you can get more sleep?
That is a good point.
Well, so you have to think, like, when you're in the operating room, you have a schedule, and there's other people that are starting at 7 in the morning who need to start getting their bodies operated on, right? So all the schedules have already been prepared for weeks on end, because it takes you how long to get into the OR for surgery anyway. So the best time to do an organ harvest, especially when they do come in like that, is in the middle of the night.
I guess that makes sense.
The part that is, I'm not shocked that happens, but I would think it would be, okay, we've got this person on a waiting list for a kidney, and we have this other person that's not going to ever come out of this coma, so let's link these 2 people up and get this person this organ. I would never have expected you treat it like the Native Americans do with the buffalo and just take which is good. I mean, if somebody's going to be a donor and give their life, in one way or another.
Well, I think there's different types of donors. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't completely know, but I know when you do your driver's license and you sign up for it, there's tissue, which means like everything, hands and eyes and all that, or there's strictly organs. Am I correct on that, Laura? Do you know?
You know, don't get me lying.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Actually.
I'm
not
pretty
really
sure. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Still,
I don't
those are
know.
just two very big.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's me and I can help somebody, take whatever. Take my teeth. I don't care. But
Well, except for that one.
yeah, I mean, someone could still use the fake one. And probably the most valuable one would be that one.
So
give it to some George Washington guy.
So were the eyes the last thing you took? Harvested?
I don't remember the last thing that we took, but they were towards the end, yes, because that was after they had already pulled the plug. I mean, his heart was already out anyway because, I mean, we had to take that, obviously. And you got to bag these things 5 times. I don't know if you've ever seen Rat Race. You ever seen that movie?
No. I don't think so.
Okay, well, anyways, it's with Mr. Bean. It's like old. It's super duper old.
I remember it used to come on Comedy Central, but I can't place it.
Okay, well, in Rat Race, there's this scene where Mr. Bean is having to transport something in a cooler, and he doesn't know what it is, and then he gets curious, and so he opens it, and it just so happens to be a human heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fake anyways, but like he takes out the human heart, and then he's like feeling it, and it's pumping, and then he like slips out his hands anyway. So like when I was having to bag them up, you have to bag these organs up, and you have to bag them 5 times to make sure they're pretty sealed in there. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like Mr. Bean. I'm like, what if this thing flies off the table? I'm like, oh my god, like it was just so surreal, so weird.
So what do you do with them after you bag them up?
You put them on ice. You put them in the
little clay
the container, and
Oh.
then there's an organ harvest team in there that takes all the different organs and wherever they need to go or whatever. And then like weeks later, I don't remember how many, but weeks later, we got a letter that said who we had donated, who we had helped based on our service and organ harvest donation. So we got to see who was helped around the world
That's pretty neat.
with his organs.
You want to just go
pretty
down the list of names?
cool. You know what? I don't know those names. I have a letter somewhere.
I'm just
but
kidding.
I don't know
Yeah, that's
most of those names. But
So that was when you're in Germany. You said you did that for 7
Yeah.
years. How far into that 7 years was this experience?
that was probably around year 4, maybe.
Okay, so kind of halfway through, a little over halfway through.
Yeah, about a little bit.
Was that the most exciting? I know it's most memorable, but I feel like maybe exciting is not the right way to say it.
Adrenaline rush.
Well, I keep
No.
picturing because my cousin who will tell me stories once in a while is a ER nurse, but you're talking about scheduled out. There's nobody just coming in with a gunshot wound or anything crazy like that.
No, we do have those. I mean, we did.
Because she was on
We
call.
do have trauma rooms, and we do have this one guy. He got rolled over by. He was a homeless guy, and he was sleeping on the streets, and he was sleeping underneath for some reason. I don't know why. Some kind of truck, and he was sleeping underneath it, and then the truck got up, moved, and he got rolled over. So he had his hips all broken and busted in,
Ugh.
and so we got him in as a trauma. So that was pretty fun trying to piece his 1,000
Jeez.
busted up joints back together. That was
Was that also in
those
Germany?
are always fun. No, that was in Baltimore.
Okay, so where else did you
That was
travel
fun.
while you were a surgeon's assistant, wherever you called it?
Not very many places. I mean, just Vegas, Germany, San Antonio, Baltimore, Miami. That's about it. But
So Germany was the only overseas one,
it was, unfortunately.
and that was you mentioned that
Like-
was one of the reasons you wanted to join in the first place, right?
To travel?
To travel, yes. And
I
when I
think-
was in Germany, I didn't just work at the hospital. I traveled like a lot.
And if you were gonna pick one place, I think that'd be a pretty great place to be.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
the
middle
proximity
of
to
everything.
everything else. Yeah.
Mhm. It's like the central hub. It's like, you can go to Prague, Belgium, Netherlands, Amsterdam, that's Netherlands, France, Spain,
I feel like
Italy, Austria.
there's a story with Amsterdam.
Well, I was there for New Year's Eve.
Okay.
I did 3 New Year's Eves in Germany,
Okay,
and
I
I
was-
never spent New Year's Eve in Germany.
Nice.
My first one I was in Paris, France. My second one I was in Amsterdam, and my third one I was in Prague.
I don't think I'd complain about either 3 of those.
Oh no, they were all well.
Maybe
Paris, I don't
Maybe
really care for that,
Amsterdam's.
but-
You know what? This is the night we take it easy. The rest of
It's
the
like the-
world can party.
That's the
Yeah.
one year they just mellow
Yeah.
down like
Yeah,
nothing.
we're gonna
Like
do a cup of
everybody stays
coffee.
home. So you're
I
in.
canned
Go
I
ahead.
can tell you that Amsterdam is very well. Back then, this was like 2013. Okay, nobody smokes weed unless you're like doing it like behind closed doors, right? But like Amsterdam was one of those where you could smoke at that time, so
Yeah.
it was just nothing but pure weed and red light district. That's Amsterdam, and then they're built on water, so it's like you're walking in and out of streets over water.
Ooh.
It's just a really cool place.
So did you partake in the smoking of the drugs?
No, I am a military member. We cannot do that. We'll get kicked out. No thanks.
Okay, let's pretend you weren't in the military. We won't tell anybody. I'll edit this out 100%.
No, I would not actually.
You didn't eat a brownie,
No,
nothing.
no. I haven't even smoked a cigarette. Like,
That's smart.
no.
Yeah, don't start doing that.
I don't want to do any of that stuff. I feel like you can get too suckered into all that stuff, and I have a life to live, and I'm trying to make it to 100. So,
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good goal, I guess.
That's why she had to get out
yeah,
of
Betty
those.
White couldn't even do it.
I know.
I'm so mad. She made 17 days less than 100, and she's like, "Nope, I'm out. Peace out." 2020 did it for me.
It's like all you motherfuckers that are hopeful and think you can make it 100 years. If I can't, neither can you.
Yeah, I want to beat her. I want to beat her by 17 days.
Just 17.
In sound mind.
So
In sound mind.
you want to make 100. You don't want to break 100.
Oh no, I want to break 100. I want to go as long as possible, but I want to at least make 100. I want to see my centenarian birthday on my 100th year.
Okay. So it sounds like you spent 3 years in Germany.
I did.
Was that your longest stint? What? Why are you laughing, Dustin?
Just because your transition.
Is it bad?
No, it's great. It was perfect. I
It's
just
great.
thought that it was funny.
Go from Betty White to Germany.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can still keep talking about turning 100 if you want.
No.
I don't think there's much legs on that.
You're a professional.
So do you want to turn 101?
Well,
What about
I'm trying to
102?
hit 40. I think that's a beautiful goal.
God bless.
I'm trying to make it to 40 years
Yeah.
old
Same.
in sound mind.
And I'm like, I don't
And I
even want to
am
make
39.
50. All right, Dustin, what do you want to talk about?
Everyone has different goals.
I don't want to talk about anything. Let's continue on. I want to. So, do you reside in the DFW area, or I don't think we ever covered that. I know nothing about you.
That's a good. Yeah, they know nothing about you. That's a good question. Where are you now?
No, I'm in the Northeast now. I'm up here in Virginia, and
Oh, wow.
I love living here. I think it's, okay, I was a Texan until I wasn't, right? I mean, I'm still a Texan, born and raised, right?
So it's
Yeah,
like,
But
don't
like
piss
Tex-
Dustin off.
once you hit
As
Vegas, you're like, fuck
Texans-
Texas.
Actually, no. I came home every 8 months because I missed it. I loved it, all the things. But once you
Nice.
move to Germany and you're like, wait, there's more than just Texas out here?
Oh,
What the
please.
heck? Like, I was like, Texas?
That's a
What
false
but
statement
the
to make.
Cowboys, though, that game on Sunday, that was on point.
Yeah. I didn't get to see most of it.
And you're back in
Oh, you
everybody's
missed it.
good graces.
So do you still have family here?
You missed it. I do. Like, all my family lives there. No one's moving away. I'm the only one that did.
Yeah. I have a sister like that.
And I have something you can confirm or deny. I have a relative that travels constantly, and she says she'll tell people where she's from, and they don't really know. And then she says, "Oh, I'm an American," and they kind of think that's North America, whatever. And she says, "I'm from Texas," and they go, "Oh, Texas Cowboys." Is it like a different distinction, or did you just say, "I'm an American," or
No, it's
I'm in the Air
pretty
Force.
much the same. It's exactly the same. Like everyone knows where Texas, New York, LA,
Right.
and Florida are.
I was
That's
gonna say
pretty much
Florida.
it. If you're not from one of those places, people don't really know where Wisconsin is. Okay,
nice?
but
So
I mean,
you got
you know,
Miami.
So when you were in Germany, were there a lot of other Cowboy fans out there?
no, even up here, there's not a lot of Cowboys fans. They're all Commanders, Redskins, Washington football team. We don't even know who the team is around here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Man.
They're
we
all
don't even
dumb
know
up
what their
there.
name is. They can't even get it right.
For some reason, I was thinking Germans would be more enticed to be Cowboys fans.
Germans are more into soccer. Like
Yeah, I
all
think
of
they're
the
just not
rest of
watching
the
American
world
football.
is more into soccer.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't think about that. I would think if anybody
Yeah.
outside of the United States would think
They're
the
into
Cowboys
real
are the best.
football.
You think they'd get with it after a couple decades?
I don't even think they know what football is. They call it American football, and they don't really follow it.
I think some of the funniest memes I saw after USA tied England in the soccer match
Yeah.
was like, yeah, if y'all can't beat us in soccer with y'all's best players and our best soccer players, then you have to call it soccer. You can't call it football. Get your best 53-man football team from your country, if you can beat one of our teams, then we'll always call it soccer. We'll call it football for the rest of life. Football. I don't care. I'm Colombian. It doesn't matter to me. All right. So it was Germany.
Now, are a lot of Colombians Cowboy fans?
I know one.
All the Colombians I know are.
Nice.
That includes my dad, my uncle, my grandma. She's big into the Cowboys. My sisters. Well, not one of them.
Have you been to Colombia?
Yeah, it was when I was in third grade, so it was when I was young. I haven't been as an adult. Have you been?
You should go. Let's see, where's Colombia? No.
South America.
I've been close. I've been to Ecuador. I've been to Venezuela. I've been to Brazil. I've been to Argentina. I've been to Panama, which is not South America, but
That's
Costa
close
Rica.
enough.
I've been all those, but not Colombia yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since it's been a while since I've been to Colombia, and I would love to go back, just because I think it's a neat place. I hear it's kind of dangerous sometimes.
Why not?
You wouldn't come back.
You don't think so?
Thanks for that follow there, nuts in your face.
Thank you, nuts in your face.
You wouldn't come back.
Steve-O thinks I'll get kidnapped because I'm so good looking.
No, it's because you're going to try and make some money somehow, and you're going to get involved in something stupid.
Try to get in the family business.
Yeah. Now, did you guys know that
I heard
Portugal?
they make good coffee down there.
Yeah, that's the family business I'm talking about.
You might get killed over coffee.
Yeah.
There's still money involved.
What were you saying?
Something stupid.
Okay, fair.
Something
Me
about
too.
Portugal.
Oh yeah, Portugal.
Yeah, I found out recently. Do you know that shit is in Europe?
Yes,
couldn't
it's
tell
nowhere
you.
near Colombia.
I thought it was a
It's on the
South
west side of
American
Spain.
country until
Definitely
like a week ago.
What?
I also thought it was a South American country until
Nice,
just now.
dude.
Are you serious?
I couldn't tell you where it was at.
Portugal sounds like,
Yeah,
but
it's
I
on-
guess Spain's not a South American country, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Is it close to
It's
Spain?
on the west side of Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the west side of Spain.
That makes a little bit of sense. I've interrupted your story enough, so I want to continue on your military journey, if you don't mind.
It's okay. I love maps and geography, so I mean,
Okay.
we're also good with there too.
So is Germany the only place you went outside of the country while you're in the military?
Stationed wise, yes, but I've been to tons of countries because I was over there. So,
Did you ever go to Oktoberfest?
every year.
Nice.
Yeah. I got there in. Oh, did you know what Oktoberfest actually is?
I just know they drink a lot of beer.
Is it agricultural related?
Definitely not.
Damn it.
Let me.
I mean, it could be related to wheat. I mean,
I would
or
think
barley
maybe
or
a
hops.
harvest situation. All the harvest comes in maybe late August, early September, and then they can make beer by October.
Is it like their version of Thanksgiving?
I mean, sure, we'll go with that. No, it's not. But it is the coming. It is the coming of October. I learned this my first year there.
What?
Because I thought Oktoberfest was like the celebration of October, as most Americans would probably think.
Yeah.
So that's
But
why it's
it's
always in
actually
September.
Not. It's the last 2 weekends in September, and then it ends on the first weekend in October. Yes.
Huh. I've always talked shit to my friends in Fort Worth that go to Oktoberfest in September. I'm like, it's not even October. Now I know I'm the idiot.
I have I've always talked shit when the seasonal beers come in. I'm like, guys, can you wait? The reason is though, is because Oktoberfest, like the Sam Adams seasonal October, it's always sold out by October. They make so many barrels of that shit. And I'm like, but I guess
Now
We know.
you would think they would go
Now you know.
money
You gotta get
over
all your
being
stuff in the-
accurate.
They're not like Hobby Lobby and just, put out the Christmas decorations in July.
Well, I would. If people had
Just like we always turn it to Christmas. We try to talk about October.
Lowe's. It's all of the holidays. Halloween's in October. They do the same thing. They'll be putting the Halloween decorations out after
4th of July. Labor Day.
I was going to say Valentine's Day, but
Valentine's Day works too.
Oh my gosh.
Are you regretting being on this podcast now?
No.
we still
I'm
haven't
just
gotten to the
like,
flight attendant
It's
part.
so true.
Oh,
I'm more
yeah.
curious
So
about this. All right, so what did you choose to exit the military, or did your time, or what?
you smoked a cigarette and they kicked you out.
she's never smoked a cigarette.
You get
I've never smoked a
honorable
cigarette.
or dishonorable discharge.
No, I've never. I haven't done any of the bad stuff. I like to think I'm bad, but I'm really not. I'm too goody for that.
You're the good kind of bad. Like, have you watched The Good Place?
I try and do the right thing. I have not.
You should. It's a great show. All right.
You know, sitting me down for more than 5 minutes to watch anything is like herding cattle. Like or herding cats. You just can't do it,
It's
right?
like herding cattle is pretty
Like-
easy. Like my dog
So-
can do that.
I don't
Wrong C word, okay? Cats.
You
Herding
never want to do
cats.
the wrong C word.
Herding cats.
Okay, so is it because you're so busy all the time or you just have a low attention span?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
So it seems like you just like to be on the go. Like you haven't said, "Oh, it was bullshit. They moved me around all the time." You're kind of saying this progression of traveling around the U.S. and then overseas. You're kind of celebrating it. Am I right? You didn't mind all the.
Correct. I love moving. I've moved 16 times in 14 years. I get bored where I'm at. I get ready to. I get really antsy and I want to punch a button and go somewhere else. I'm like, okay, well, I've been here for a year. Where can I go next? Like, I don't like to settle. I want to settle, but I don't want to settle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not a gypsy as long as you got, seems like the jobs that you gravitate towards cater to that inclination.
Yeah, the military sends you all over the place, and they always keep you on your toes, which is nice.
Did you think about going career?
Yeah, I've thought about it, and I mean, some things work out, some things don't. You're never really sure
So
what's going to happen in life, so you just fly with it and get it, and go. With the flow.
What's your current status in the military?
I mean, I'm still active duty, but
Duty.
I like call of.
Duty.
He just likes saying
I
dude.
play a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty
I don't.
active, I would say. No?
Your brain's kind of active.
Yeah.
I would say that.
My Call of Duty status is active.
I'm so sorry, Laura, that they didn't give you time to listen to an episode before you agreed to come on
No,
the
she
pod.
said she
I
heard the
listened
one.
to the beef jerky guy.
Hey, if
I
she heard the
listened to
beef jerky guy,
She had already agreed to it.
She-
and she just was seeing what she was.
Actually, she did not.
And
She
you're
didn't agree
right.
until after she listened.
I was and then I listened to the one with the girls. There was 3 girls on there.
Yeah, the
Oh,
girls
that's a
ones
way better
are
one. Yeah.
insanely fun.
yeah.
That was
I
like
didn't want to say
I think I
anything.
fell asleep to that one because it was like 3 hours long. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so long.
Oh, they're
I was
all
like,
3 hours long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one with us you listened to might have been one of the shorter ones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was probably like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, sometimes you just get going and you forget, you don't realize how long you've been talking.
Yeah.
I can't talk. I don't
That
know.
was so hard. for you to
Words
get
are
out.
not coming out
It
good.
was so hard.
Well, all right. So you're currently active in the military. You did 7 years as a surgeon's helper. What is the actual title?
surgeon's
surgical
little
technician.
helper.
Surgeon's technician.
Surgical technician.
Surgical
yeah.
technician. Okay. So you're a surgeon's helper for 7 years.
Sure.
What was your?
Whatever you want to say.
I'm
Better
just
than being a
playing
Santa's helper, right?
Yeah. So you did 3 years of that in Germany. Where was the last place you were a surgical technician?
It's the words. The words are so hard for you. I don't know why. I did it in San Antonio, and that was done. I was done. I'm I found out I'm not a fan of San Antonio. I don't really care for it much. Everyone loves it. That's great.
You
Good to be in.
probably
No, thanks, I'm good.
Okay, Laura.
went to the wrong puffy taco place.
Yeah, is it the Mexicans?
Yeah, Laura. I was gonna say I'll edit this out. Is it because there's so many Mexicans there?
God damn.
You can answer
Wow.
honestly.
I'm a quarter Mexican. I can say
You know, that's not true. My
true.
ex-fiance, actually, he was Hispanic.
it.
So, I mean, I don't discriminate,
So you like the brown
I
guys,
give
huh?
everyone that, you know what?
So you're saying there's a chance.
It's not necessarily, oh my God.
Just
It's-
FYI, I'm
it doesn't
also
matter
a
what
quarter
color you
Mexican.
are.
Mainly
Oh my
Colombian, though.
Okay, so San Antonio was the last place you were a surgical technician. What was your next journey in the military? Or in the Air
Well, I
Force?
told you I like maps.
Oh, yeah.
So
Did
I
you ever
did a-
fly?
I-
I mean, you can't fly in the surgery
I-
room, right?
We haven't got there
We're gonna
yet,
get there.
but
okay.
Obviously,
Peter
she's
Pan
flew.
is coming, okay?
She's a
jumped
flight
the gun.
attendant.
I
She
jumped
flew
the gun.
somewhere.
Well, now, but I'm talking about she was in the Air Force and got stuck in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens, You get stuck wherever they want you. And so then I did I was a geospatial
What?
tech for a while. So geospatial, basically where it's
Yeah, I'm
looking
gonna
at maps,
stop you right
but it's a
now.
little bit different.
Everything you say that sounds something like we're not gonna know. I'm definitely not gonna know it. So just assume you have to explain every little fucking detail to me.
Yeah, so it's basically just looking at maps And it was a different type of maps that I like to look at. I like to look at geography. I don't like to look at other things. So we'll just leave it at that. A little skosh. I didn't really do it very long. I realized I didn't like it, so I punched out of it really, really quickly. So I only did it for about 9 months.
Okay.
So it literally was a skosh on my radar. I didn't. It was not my thing. It was not my thing. I didn't like it, and so I thought I was gonna like it. Didn't like it. So I moved on, and luckily I got pulled up to a higher echelon, and I got to be the command chief's executive assistant, which is where you're basically a glorified secretary for one of our chiefs. And he was awesome, and got to work with him for almost a year, and then got the opportunity to become a flight attendant.
Okay.
So we're here, ready to fly,
Finally.
ready to soar.
So you never did. You never
the
performed.
moment. It's the moment you've all been waiting for.
You
My
never-
interest has peaked.
You never performed any surgeries on a plane while you're in the Air
No,
Force.
but they do have those. They do
Oh.
have medevacs. Yeah. So medical evacuation is a medevac, and they do have those where they will perform in-flight surgeries. I never did that. No, thank you. I'm not a fan, but they do have those where people got to go pull people out of Afghanistan, Iraq.
Yeah, you're not going to make it to
a
100 if you're jacking with your cortisol that much with all these surgeries and flights out of war zones. And yeah, you need some stability.
If you were ever on a commercial flight and a flight attendant says, "Is there a doctor on board?" Would you raise your hand and say, "I could help"?
Well, I'm not a doctor, so
Right.
I'm not lying if I don't raise my hand.
Right.
So,
But would you raise your hand and say, "I'm not a doctor, but I can help"?
yes, I
Okay.
have done that before,
You have.
and yeah.
Okay, let's hear that
Because
story.
you have to be there for people whenever they're having issues. Like, you can't just let them die. Like, no. So there was this one time at band camp. There was this one time that I was flying from Germany to Vegas, right? And we just so happened to be over where were we at? Over Canada, and this male had a seizure on the jet, and so they asked if there was a doctor on board. And I'm flying commercial, by the way. Okay, I'm flying as a passenger. Yeah, and so we helped get him stabilized, whatever. We helped him through a seizure, and got him back in the seat. And then they actually did a little U-turn because we were closer to go to Ireland to drop him off for medical care than we were to go into Canada. So we actually did a little detour and got to stay in a hotel in Ireland, rando.
Interesting.
Yeah, based on getting the male medical care he needed. So, yeah, United, props to them because they put us all up in a hotel, and it was really awesome. And Reykjavik, Iceland, not Ireland, Iceland.
Oh, I was about to
Reykjavik,
say.
Iceland. It was really, really cool.
okay,
You're
that makes-
good at maps. I'm bad at maps, so I was just going with it. But
You
now
know,
that-
the
I'm-
eye thing, words are hard.
Canada.
I was questioning. I was like, "Why would they send you to Ireland from Canada?"
We just went all the way back.
I didn't know it was so
Doesn't make
close.
sense.
If I would have known, I mean, I would.
When you said you're over Canada, but they send you back to Ireland, something just didn't add up.
I was about to book a flight.
what
I was like, I
happened
didn't know it
was-
was that close.
I mean, Ricky thinks he's a hero because he sits in the aisle where they give you free drinks because you're on the exit row. And you didn't have to step up. They said, "Is there a doctor?" And you said, "I'm better than you guys are. Move the hell out of the way."
Okay, so
I
wait,
did not say that. I would never.
she just let everybody assume it.
With your actions,
Yeah.
you stated it.
So were you the only one that stepped up? Or were there other?
No, there were several of us. There were like 4 or 5 people helping out. So it was, it's
Interesting.
kind of basically just like keeping people away and just, I didn't really do much. Don't let me act like a hero because I'm not. But,
I really was letting you take all the glory.
You know what? If you're going to ask the questions, I'm going to tell you the real answer. But if you're not, let me look like a
Okay.
hero.
No, you're a hero. You're 100% a hero.
But I did help out.
Yeah, I mean,
They said, "Is there a doctor in the house?" And one guy said, "I'm a surgeon." And you said, "I'll assist you."
Exactly.
I will.
There
If
you
there's
go.
any technical.
be your technician. Let me know when to take the eyeballs out.
Exactly.
Do you have the 5 bags on flight? Goes
I
back to that.
mean,
You got it.
Back it up 5 times, right?
yeah.
No
wow.
diggity.
I don't know.
No diggity.
I feel like y'all could be surgical techs. Like, for real.
Shit.
I don't have the steady hands. I couldn't even hand the
Barf
scalpel over.
bag.
I'd be shaking my
I
hands.
can't handle it.
Oh, you don't
Can't
like blood?
handle it.
I can.
It's
deal
the
with
saliva.
it, but it's yeah.
Speaking of jets, I can hear one. You got one flying over your house
We
right
do.
now?
You want to know where it's going? Let me
That's
look
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah. Is it going
we,
north, south, east, or west?
we do the podcast in the garage, and the garage is open today since we have a summer in December.
What?
It's always open.
It's like so cold here.
Yeah, right now my watch says it's 66.
That one's going to
Wow,
Ontario.
that's nice.
Ontario.
Is that in Canada?
Yeah, it might get diverted to Ireland.
It's near Montana.
Oh, maybe.
So, when you were flying over Canada and that happened, you were in Germany flying back?
Yeah, I was in Germany flying back to Vegas, and it was a straight like 13-hour shot. So we just got diverted a whole day. It was great.
Yeah. So was that your final trip home, or was that just a vacation?
No, so what had happened was I was married at the time, so I was going to visit my ex-husband for his birthday, but I didn't want to tell him that, so I just kind of like booked a trip that was like hush hush and nobody knew. And yeah, so it
So
took
your
me an
nice
extra day to get
surprise for
home.
him turned into a one-day sabbatical for you.
You know, I'm all about the adventures, and it's not where I'm going, it's how I'm getting there and just the journey along the way. So like I was cool. I got to add another country to my bucket list. I never
Yeah.
thought I'd be going to Iceland. I mean, I'm just going on a regular flight, you know, from Europe to the States. So it was pretty cool.
So you were surprising your husband at the time. He had no
Yeah.
clue you're flying in?
Yeah. No, he didn't.
Interesting.
I like to do that. I like to randomly just jump and do things. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. And then like I do things, and then I'm like, that probably wasn't such a great idea, but whatever, I did it anyway. So that's
So-
kind of how I live life.
So was that decision a bad idea?
I mean, it wasn't really thought out. Because then once I got to Vegas, like no one knew I was coming, to include him, right? So then I'm taking the bus all the way from, you know, the airport
no.
up to his apartment. And then like I get there and nobody's home, and I'm like, well, this is probably a dumb idea. Like I got this luggage, I'm like standing outside in the heat.
Yeah, you
know.
need cohorts when you're going to surprise
Yeah.
somebody like that. You need secret
Yeah, I'm
keeping
not really that-
friends.
And I guess you didn't have a key to the apartment?
No, like
What?
I lived in Germany. What do I need? What is the key there for? I don't live there.
I mean, it's your husband.
I mean, I guess, but
Like, I have a key to my sister's house, and she lives in Denver.
Yeah, but she
Oh,
also got
well,
to
I
there all the
mean-
time.
I do go there all the
I
time.
probably would have lost the key anyway. I don't know. Like I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, I've
I'm
lost
not
many
really
of
into
their
that kind of
keys.
stuff.
It's just a real quick
Like
flight
organized
update.
chaos.
Ontario is in California, and they're coming from Ontario, heading into DFW. So
So it's not Ontario.
Ontario.
not
What are you using? Are you using like FlightAware or what are you using?
Flight Tracker 24.
Flight Scanner? Flight Tracker 24?
Oh, hold on, Flight Radar 24. I get that wrong all the time. The T's
Oh.
next to the R messes with me.
There's so many different flight routes.
Ooh,
Since we
speaking
brought up
of,
keys, I have a couple of things to talk about keys. I think me and you are on the same page on one of them.
What?
Maybe.
Keys what?
Do you remember my key that broke while we were moving into my house?
So listen to this shit. He unlocks his door, right?
uh-huh. What
Leaves
door?
The whole
My
his
front door.
We're moving stuff into his house. He leaves the keys in the door. We're bringing in this heavy ass couch, right?
First of all,
And I'm backing up.
always leave my key in the door when I
Yeah.
open it up. It just stays in there until I'm done for the day, and I take it out, hang it up, whatever.
Yeah.
My keys stay in the door.
Yeah.
That's one of those weird Ricky things that you do.
Is that weird?
He has a glass door, and then he has a
Yeah.
regular door, and he leaves the key in the regular door that stays open, and his glass door just the storm door.
Yeah, it's weird.
And,
Yeah.
Well, the storm
Yeah.
door is always latched because if
No,
it's not,
yeah,
my
I
dogs
get
could
it
get
now.
out.
That or the hood rats will come in. But anyways, so we're backing up with this couch,
Uh-huh.
I'm just observing.
and I
I'm
hear
not.
the keys hit the floor, and I was like, "Fuck!" I knew exactly what had happened.
I knew what happened.
There's no chance they got knocked
no,
clean out of the lock.
But
not
our,
a chance.
but our cousin Jeremy was like, "Oh, the keys fell out,"
No,
and I
So
knew it was like, "Whatever. It's a casualty of war."
sheared off.
So Dustin and me, as soon as we're done, Dustin starts trying to get the key out, but it's not coming out. I was like, maybe I can try super glue or something. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'll just take this other key I have and just lock my deadbolt instead of the doorknob. So we leave. And here's a story that I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
We leave. I come back, deadbolt, unlock it. Now we've been in and out of my house so much that lady just wants to go somewhere.
Uh-huh.
So she gets, while I'm walking in, she goes out the front door and just sits next to my car. It's like, lady, come in. No, she's not coming in. She's going for a fucking car ride. Go open the door, lock up, drive around, get back to my house. I did not lock the deadbolt. I locked the doorknob.
Oh, oh shit! From the inside.
Yeah, so now
While
I have a
you
doorknob with
had
a,
a cabinet.
Yeah.
Key. Yeah.
So I'm like, what am I going to
Stick a fucking
do?
screwdriver in there. Or
No, I just took the rest of the key that was still on my key ring, stuck it in there, and it worked.
Fuck yeah.
And then I did what I told you I was going to do. I took that doorknob, put it on my back door. So if you ever want to get in my back door, all you got to do is wiggle it a little bit. You're in.
So you don't want the deadbolt on the back door either?
No, I normally do.
No.
I'm doing an experiment with that door to where I leave it to where it's not all the way closed, and I have a rope on the doorknob to see if Lady can figure out how to open it. She hasn't done it yet. And then once she figures out how to open it, I'm going to teach her how to close it.
Trying to teach an old dog new tricks.
I mean,
am.
you can teach an old dog new tricks.
That's a tough one.
She's
That's
a
tough
pretty old dog, though.
So while I was in Denver, I had some of Steve-O's serving trays that he loaned me when I did our little cooking thing. What's it called? Potluck for the office?
Yes.
When
You're asking me what
and he made me those, what was it?
the spinach puff.
Spinach croissants.
Uh-huh.
They were delicious. Everyone loved them. They were hit of the party, but I still had his dishes. And when I was leaving the office, I was like, do you want me to drop them off now at your house? He's like, no, don't worry about it. If you come by, leave them at the porch. I'm like, you know what? I'll just bring them next time I see you. Next time I saw him, forgot about it. He came to my house once, forgot about it. And I was like, you might need these for Thanksgiving. Maybe we can try to meet up. I was like, it just didn't work out. I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll leave them in the front seat of my car. You can use the code on the door to get in. I'll leave the keys in there. So that way when you leave, you can lock it and take the keys, and I'll get the keys back from you
What?
some other time.
You can't just lock it and shut it with a button?
You can, but it'll drain the battery for some reason.
What?
Right? It's dumb. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I knew I was going to be gone for 4 or 5 days. So whatever, if he locked it that way, the battery would drain.
I should just give my key to the Blazer.
I could have done that too. That battery's already dead.
Yeah.
And then
What he wouldn't do was give me the keys to the vet. I said, just leave them in the vet, baby.
that is true. I did not.
Leave
an
the keys
asshole
to that race car under a rock somewhere. It will be good.
But I told him how to get to the keys to the vet when he was there. He was like, how do I drive this vet? It was like, first of all, you had to break in the house. I didn't tell him the trick about wiggling in the back door.
Yeah.
Break in the house, make sure the back rear tires aired up, and you're good to go. Just make sure it doesn't overheat. But he did not attempt it. So I get home. The only thing I asked Steve-O to do was, please, just lock it.
Oh, no.
The car or the house?
That car.
Okay.
Like, he just kept my keys. So, you know, I get dropped off by Ruben. I walk by and I was like, wonder if he locked it. Nope. Door opened right up. I was like, nobody. There was nothing in there to steal. I don't know why I was worried about it.
But he still took the keys?
I hope so, because they weren't in there.
Oh, what a dick.
You're telling me I still have those keys?
I hope so.
All
The
right.
car keys?
In that case, I know right where they're at.
Prison wallet?
They will be later.
For a month? Dustin.
I don't know.
Has it been a month? Pretty close. All right, sorry. We got distracted, Laura.
Yeah.
No, it's just
She's
it's
still
so
here.
crazy listening. It's so crazy listening to y'all about these keys because I'm just like in the city. Yeah, fat chance your car's gonna be there tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And your house, like leaving it unlocked, like back in the day, right? Like, sure, living in the country, it's the same,
Oh,
same
I
thing.
don't
But
leave nothing
now,
unlocked around
like,
here.
oh no,
No, I don't leave my house unlocked very often, but, you know.
got the back door, but you just gotta jiggle it. Shoot,
Ooh.
you do that here, you're not gonna have anything.
Well, first they have to be able to get in the backyard.
Yeah, that's...
I think that's going to be a
Oh,
task in itself.
Is Lady like a tramp when someone tries to get in the backyard?
No, but she can jump the fence, but I don't think anybody else could actually jump the fence. Right?
Oh, I mean, you got the 8 foot in the front, right?
Yeah.
6 foot in the back.
And the back's guarded by Danny. So I'm not worried about anybody coming in that
Are we
way.
talking about the truck or a fence?
The fence, my backyard.
I mean, the odds that somebody's walking down the street in a Burleson suburb just trying
Yeah,
the
true.
handles on every car until
Ours-
they find one.
It is very high.
For them to, what,
Is it?
do a joyride situation
I-
or
I
take the
busted somebody
factory
doing that.
stereo out of the Fusion?
Just going through it and doing stupid shit.
Do you think on my street it would be?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like mine's a busy
Busted kids
street.
doing it one time
Oh.
on your street.
So, Steve, do you have my keys?
Yeah, I think they're in my center console.
Okay. I don't need them.
And
That's
also,
like a $300
I
key
never
fob.
lock my car. So if somebody just for fun wanted to take the key, well, this doesn't go to this car and just
That's-
chunk it into
no,
a
no.
field.
So that's what happened with this one kid that I caught stealing a car. He went through, well, there are 2 cars in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
One truck, one car. He goes to the car. The keys to the truck were in the center console of the car, the spare key.
Mm-hmm.
That I guess they just husband and wife. She just had a spare key.
That's some dumb shit we would do. Yeah.
And then just,
Then he just fucking takes off in the truck, parks it on the street, and then he goes off walking, and he's walking at like 12 o'clock at night. And so we stop him. The only thing he had on him were the keys. Asked him about it. He said they were his mom's. We're like, yeah, whatever.
If they
So I
go,
took it. Luckily, it had a key fob. So I literally went down streets and started hitting it. I saw lights flash. It's like, well, there it is.
so if he was just driving it, y'all wouldn't have pulled him over, right?
Nope.
Damn, that's some bad luck right there. That's a
Oh,
dumb
he was
criminal.
stupid about it. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty dumb.
What was his reasoning for just driving down the street and walking away?
He's a fucking kid.
Oh,
He's just
he's just fucking
he
around.
figured out if he I don't know. I guess he had second thoughts about it or was going to come back and get it later. They were going
I mean,
tugging on more door handles.
he just found something and he's like, got a little bit away. He's like, this is not a good idea. This is more than just opening someone's car and taking the change out of their console.
I don't think he was that smart to really think that. I think that he was wanting to go tug on more door handles.
I think you
Find
find
some money.
find the keys to the truck. You look over. It's the same kind of truck. You get a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, I'm fucking. This is what a great find. And then you're driving that truck. You're like, what am I gonna do with this truck?
I'd rather go jiggle handles. All right, so you spent your last bit of whatever in San Antonio. Where were we on the story, Laura?
We made the flight.
Oh
attendant.
yeah. So yeah, we've made it to flight attendant already.
What did it take to get
So-
flight attendant?
You have to go through this interview process, and you have to get hired, and then you're selectively hired to fly jets in their military, which is nice.
So how much
So-
training is there once you get accepted and all that stuff?
So there was only 5 weeks training for that too. It's nice. Yeah, you get to go through 2 weeks of culinary and 3 weeks of flight school, which again is a very pressed timeline, but they're trying to get people up in the air, and then you get to your next duty station and you
So you do it for the military airline.
go. Yep.
So
Go through.
So the chances of us running into you on a normal flight very slim.
No.
probably
we
slim.
won't.
So
She could be vacationing at the same time as you.
Well, I'm talking.
so you
about,
do you have to go through culinary school.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Yeah,
purpose
so
of that?
I fly on private jets, so we're flying like 14 seaters. There's not very many seats on our jets, and they're private. We have to basically serve 5-star meals in the air to our passengers, which you're not just getting peanuts, peanuts and soda. You're getting like 3-4 course meals if you decide to do so.
And who pays for all that?
We do. So basically, we go shopping, and then we make the meals, and then we send the receipt divided by the number of passengers and crew members, and we pay for our meals. So
Oh.
the government does not pay for meals. We pay for our own. But we
That's
do prepare
bullshit.
all the meals.
Hey, Laura.
Is it though? Your taxpayer money's not.
I mean, you've served how many
Yeah.
years now?
Hey, Laura.
You've earned it.
Hey, Laura.
I wish. Yeah.
Your connection has gone south. Can you disconnect and reconnect? Funky Picnic is a locally owned and operated brew pub located off of Bryan Avenue in the heart of Fort Worth.
At Funky Picnic, we serve specialty beers that are all brewed in-house.
Hey Sam, do y'all serve food?
Yeah, we have a full menu. Appetizers, salads, dinner plates, burgers, and sandwiches. We also have a daily special. You can get a cheeseburger and your choice of our Kolsch, Mexican lager, or Hefeweizen for only $10 every day.
Follow the Funky Picnic Gram to stay up to date on new beer releases and any future events, from trivia to drag show.
To schedule an event or private party, check out the form on our website at funkypicnicbrewery.com.
Funky Picnic Brewery, because all moms love a good Mexican lager. Okay, so how long ago was it that you started being a flight attendant?
About 3.5 years ago.
Okay. And
Yeah.
is that your
But-
current job in the military? In the Air
It
Force?
is. It is currently, yes.
How often are you flying?
I don't. Right now, I'm permanently medically grounded, so I'm not flying. I'm doing admin work. So I am technically a flight attendant, but I don't fly at this point in time. Like in the civilian world, I would not be grounded, but in the military, we have stricter rules and regulations, and so I am currently grounded based on their rules and regulations. So, and it has to do with medical situations.
So at some point you will be back to flying.
I kind of like it right now the way it is. Actually,
Okay.
I love flying. No, don't get me wrong. I love flying, but with the military, it's a lot different than in the civilian world, right? So flying corporate in the civilian world, you can cook if you want, but you mostly cater, right? So you're
Yeah.
buying it from the restaurants or whatever, and then you're putting it on the plate. Well, I make it sound really easy. It's not that easy, okay? It's still hard. But with us, like you're making the menus, you're going shopping for it, you're doing the cooking yourself, and then you're also preparing it on the jet. So,
So y'all cook before you
it's
get on the plane or
oh
jet?
yeah, mostly everything that you're eating is well depends, but a lot of the things that you're eating are
So there's like a couple of heating
ready
elements
heat.
on the plane, but you're not smoking a brisket on there or anything.
Definitely not.
You don't have the Traeger on the.
Don't have the trailer on the back, the smoker.
That'd be kind of tight. Get too much wind, probably.
So y'all get to pick when you're flying. You get to pick the meals. What was your favorite meal to pick, or did you have one?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, I mean, we pick the meals, but we don't pick the meals, right? So we pick the meals, and then we give the menu or whatever to our primary passenger, and then they will pick the meals for us and let us know what they like. So we don't necessarily we get to pick, but we don't get to pick. We get to
You
we get
create
to
the
come up with a
menu.
menu, and it's kind of like you go into a restaurant, right? Like the chef is not going to tell you what you're going to eat. You're going to tell the chef what they're going to eat based on their menu, right? So they're going to bring a menu out to you, and you're going to be like, hey, this is what I want to eat. But we do all that before we fly, so we don't have like 20 things on the menu that we're buying things for and wasting food.
Yeah.
So we know exactly what you want to eat before we're actually, flying. So we
Okay.
make it all in the flight kitchen, and then
And
we
is
eat it
that
on the jet,
something
for the
that
most part.
you've always? I'm a food nut, and I've done, catering and all sorts of different things, all on the ground. But is that something that just came along with you wanting to continue to travel and fly and all that, or is that something you were passionate about?
Cooking, no, not passionate about that at all. Traveling, yes. So like customer service, yes. Flight safety, yes. Like all those things, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking, not really a passion of mine. Don't really want to cook, right? But I do love traveling. So like, how can I serve you on the jet and make you most comfortable? And in that is portion of food as well.
So is that one of the biggest beatings then of that job? Is you have to make the food?
I think it's a lot of beating because you have to do everything yourself. Like I said, if you're in the civilian sector and you're a corporate flight attendant, you have the option, unless your passengers want you to make food. Some do, but you have the option to go purchase it, right? So you don't necessarily always have that strain of you have to cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot easier avenues to go around that. So and we have to do our own dishes and all the things versus the civilian sector. They don't. They can put all their dishes in a little bucket, and then the FBO, when they get there, they'll do all their dishes for them. So we have a lot more roles and responsibilities being military because it's a one-stop shop. We don't pay for the extra amenities.
Yeah.
So how many? If it's
We are the amenities.
if it's like a 14, 16 seat airplane, what's the crew like?
Usually there's only 5. So there's 5 to 7, depending on if there's someone in training. So you might have an instructor and evaluator on the jet as well. But usually there's only 5 crew.
Yeah, that's a lot for 5 people.
Okay, so when you say
Well,
5,
it's really only 1
yeah, I was going to
because
say.
everyone has their own crew position. So there's only 1 flight attendant tending to all the passengers.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 are like pilots. The other one's, doing Wi-Fi. The other one's doing like all the maintenance and stuff around the jet.
And I'm guessing the Wi-Fi guy and the pilot guy, they're not cooking the meals with you, are they?
Oh no, you're the only one on the jet. Yeah.
So you're basically not in charge, but you're the flight attendant for 14 to 16 people.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I guess the pilots.
Yeah, we got to feed the crew too. So everyone eats on the jet. So depending on, you might have 1 passenger, right? So if you have 1 passenger, you're feeding like 6 to 8 people because of the crew, right? But if you have 12 passengers, you could be feeding up to 17 people.
Yeah.
And you're doing it all yourself, and you got a 2-hour flight to get it in, or, and it's a lot when you're serving, and then you got to do all the dishes, and you got to put them all away. it can be very.
Yeah, I was thinking pilot, co-pilot, and 3 people to do
But now it's just her.
Oh,
the
no.
stuff. That's
It's
Okay,
just
so-
one flight attendant for everything.
When you're
So it
five,
can be a very stressful job.
when you're-
everyone's having beanie weenies. If
Yeah.
I'm like, are you guys good with
But-
chicken nuggets?
and they're gonna be cold.
No.
Okay,
They
my
do
bad.
say that we walk ourselves to Europe, because like we're back and forth, all the way up and down the jet, and we're walking all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, technically, right?
You're getting your steps in.
But exactly, better have your counter on. But it is very rewarding because like then you get to where you're going, and like some people will go, they call them slam clickers, where they'll go get into their hotel room and they'll pass out, fall asleep. They'll slam their door, click it, and you're done. But no, I'm like the adventure person. I'll sleep like 2 or 3 hours, when I'm out there, just so I can go and venture wherever I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you don't
'cause
see
you
how
might-
tired
you
you are
might
on the
only
back
have
end.
18 hours in that spot or something.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so
15, 18, yeah.
you've said you've walked to Europe. What is the longest flight you've taken as a flight attendant?
Oh, the longest one was 18 hours, but it wasn't straight. We stopped off for fuel.
In
But
Ireland?
like we went, yeah, exactly. Yeah. We always stop over in Ireland. I don't know if you know that, but it's always Ireland.
It's protocol.
Every time there's an emergency lane, it's like,
Protocol.
just send them to Ireland.
Yep. Just in Ireland. We always go to Ireland. It's always one of those I countries. We never know which one we're going to end up in. Yeah.
So when you're on an 18-hour flight, it's still just you as the flight attendant, or do you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so we're only allowed to do 16-hour days, and technically we're not supposed to go over that. But the main pilot does have the authority to request for a 2-hour longer extension, depending on whatever had to happen, right? Like maybe there was an emergency, maybe we had to deviate, who knows what happened, right? So they always have the option to do that. And so this one time we were flying for 18 hours, and it is a lot when you have to be the sole person and still be of sound mind when you get down,
Yeah,
shut
when
up the
you're,
jet, all the things.
you're
Yeah.
the one not getting the nap.
So
Yeah.
as a flight attendant for the Air Force, are you assigned to a certain crew, or do you have like pilots or the special guest request you? Does that make sense?
No, you're assigned, and it's random. You can be like, you're not always the same crew, so
Okay.
it'll just be like whoever's available. Like, because some people might be on vacation, some people might be in training, some people might be sick, whatever. So it's just if you're available, that's the flight you'll go on.
So let's say Dustin is a big military profile guy and he's flying. Could he request you?
We've had that before, but it doesn't always go through. So no, it's pretty much you get what you get and don't throw a fit.
Okay.
Yeah, Ricky kind of equates everything to dining at a Chili's. So
Yeah. What time do you serve the
yeah.
queso?
he thinks if he's a ambassador of some sort, he'll be like, you know what? I like that Laura girl. Tell her it's her shift today.
I thought it was a good question.
Yeah, that would be nice to know. It doesn't always work that way. It doesn't work that way at all, actually. I shouldn't say always. It doesn't work that way at all.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. And I'm dumb. I don't know. I have no clue. So that's why I'm asking these
You're
dumb
not
questions.
dumb. You're
Not
nice.
dumb.
I'm kind of dumb, guys.
Pretty dumb.
Thank y'all for boosting my ego and telling me I'm not.
You're an engineer.
But deep down, I know I'm dumb.
You're not.
Dude, I got a raise today.
Oh, that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Went in my office, sat down, working. Our branch manager comes in, sits down, closed the door, sets the pen down. I was like, shit, I'm in trouble. He's like, are you happy? I was like, yeah, I'm happy. He's like, all right, I'm going to give you a raise. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's legit. Congrats on your raise.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So that was
Do I
just
get a
for.
slice of the pie?
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. What do you want? Let me send you.
Yeah, I'll take all of it.
All right, I'll send you.
Jeez.
Hey, if
Hey,
you're a
we're the whole
regular,
pie.
if you're a regular, he'll send you a
Hey, if
microphone.
you're gonna
I
ask,
want a circular slice encompassing the whole pie.
I was gonna say
exactly.
I'll send you a microphone and a headset so that way you can jump on any time on the clean feed through your PC and we could. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because my phone sucks.
No, it actually it hasn't been
Everything's
bad.
big
No,
with
it's
this
just,
guy.
Well, she was texting earlier. She has you on me on AirPods, and I was like, that could be iffy. Are you still on your AirPods?
I am.
You can hear like a weird echo, but it's barely noticeable.
And
I'm
it
just
sounds like there's a lot of crickets where you're at and dogs barking too.
God
So
damn it.
get your
Pretty
act
sure the crickets
together.
are your side. Yeah.
No.
planes.
well, there's no crickets here.
Speaking of which, that last plane that flew over was coming from Austin. Just saying.
Glad you're
boy.
still on your flight
have to do
tracker.
have to do flights on the quads.
So I know you don't want to go in details, but how long have you been grounded?
Whoa.
Almost 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Interesting.
Okay, your career is starting to span a lot of years for how old I assumed you
Yeah.
were, I guess.
She's 21.
Yeah, so I'm only 21. Yeah.
21 forever. I remember.
Perpetually 21.
I thought that meant 29, though.
Yeah, it means 21. Pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. She packed a lot in. I feel like we are missing years in there.
No.
From the time between she was a surgical technician to a flight attendant? Did you do anything in between?
Yeah, she did the geolocation map.
that was only for like 9 months.
Spatial awareness.
Yeah, and
Those-
then the executive position.
Speaking of
I
people
did it.
being stupid, Laura, do you want to hear this new segment I came up with for the pod?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so Ricky and I have dyslexia.
Yeah.
And I said,
Oh,
you know
okay.
what? I'm always seeing things. And then, like, a few seconds later, I realized what I've actually read. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. So I said, from now on, I'm going to make a note of it in my phone. I'm going to say it later and see if anybody else has this in their life or if I'm just. So I'm working out at the gym.
Okay.
You can't see this, but I'm ripped.
Nobody can see because that cardigan.
And he had this guy had this like it's like a workout tank, but kind of like a jersey looking thing,
Okay.
and it said ragwear.
Ragwear?
Yeah, I was like, ragwear's the dumbest name for fitness clothing,
Okay.
and then it turned out it said raw gear.
Raw
So,
gear.
Yeah, so I'm fucking,
Oh.
Yeah.
and
I mean,
that's
you were
fun with
close.
dyslexia.
Can you say it again?
And now it's time for fun with dyslexia.
All right.
Mark that.
I'll mark it.
I'm afraid to mark it because that button is so close.
That's the destroy everything
That's
button.
the destroy everything button.
Nice. I'm glad I know that.
And we accidentally
Don't
hit
fuck
that.
with me.
What
anymore.
eject?
Yeah, we accidentally hit that when Lindsay Stanley Jr. was on.
Okay, I'm gonna delete ragwear and write. Didn't.
Laura, do you have
Go
any
well.
dyslexia?
Stories.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Now she's smart.
I know.
Went to the military.
She just can't sit still.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, I
Not
can.
always
I've
an
been
issue.
pacing this whole time.
I can't sit still either.
Have you really been pacing the whole time?
No.
God damn it.
I think she has. She's just not saying
Not the
yes.
whole time. I stopped.
See, for me, if I'm on my phone, I am 100% going to be moving around.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I've ever been on my phone. Like being on the podcast with a microphone, your headset on, I can sit here and do that. But if I'm on my phone, I'm moving. I can't think of any time besides if I'm in
Yeah,
the
me too.
car that I'm not moving around while I'm on my phone. Steve-O?
It's so funny you should say that because my roommates came home and I went downstairs, which is why my spatial issues happened with my phone. And you were like, I can't hear you. So I went and got my phone and I got in my car. So that's the reason I stopped pacing was I'm sitting in my car now.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, your roommates
Yeah.
pissed you off?
Your car has great acoustics.
No,
Do you
they
still
came
have that truck?
home.
They came home.
I
and-
don't.
Oh.
I
Well, it
miss
sounds
it
great
every
now.
day.
I mean, that was only a Texas
Hey.
thing. She's in Virginia now. They don't like big trucks
Yeah.
up there.
So are your
Actually, they do.
Oh, they do?
Dusty,
What?
Yeah.
you being cheeky?
What?
I'll find out if you are.
I mean, what? You can check the
What?
cheeks.
Check your prison wallet. I thought you were being
Yeah, see
cheeky.
if my keys are in there.
So
Of course they like
they
trucks.
might be.
What is happening right now?
Yeah,
Nope.
we're dumb. We're
We're
dumb.
Oh, this is
That's-
the point where it goes off the rails.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
Every fucking time.
No, it's,
Yeah,
And
we're-
it's not my fault. Everyone likes to pretend it is.
Tell us more.
Wow.
All right. So you're currently military. Do you have any other job?
Oh, I have tons. I
Tons.
I can't sit still. I can't sit still. I
Okay.
don't have time to sit here and watch movies
Or be on
or,
podcast.
You know, I have a time for that. I made time.
She did make time for us.
But no, I do have a few side businesses because, I mean, why not?
Because she's a
It's good to make money. It's good to help
baby.
people.
Hey, let's hear about
I
your
do.
yeah. Let's
I
hear about
hustle
your
a lot.
side businesses, and maybe we can make a commercial for you.
A commercial, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, my main side hustle is I focus on health and wellness.
Uh-huh.
I like to help people get healthy. I like to help people be more nutritious and have live clean products for their house, meaning like no toxins, it's GMO, BPA, all that other stuff free, dairy free, all the stuff. Are you snoring?
No, that was a
Is that
burp.
a pig?
But it might have sounded
Oh,
like a snore.
I was like, is that a snore? Wow.
Tell me more.
We help with sleep apnea. No, we don't. But
Nice. You just found your new
We
side
help-
hustle.
we help with sleeping. We do have a sleep aid, actually. So,
So when you say
you know,
we,
any kind of thing.
what is
Well, I
the,
say we, that, it's the company that I work for, or
Okay.
that I'm a part of. So
so it's not like your own entrepreneurship thing that you're doing. You're
so
actually
you
doing it
are
for a company.
so you are, right? So you are your own business. So me, I own my own business. I have my own business, but I do, promote products from a company. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Ish.
It's kind of like, okay. It's kind of like you
Don't.
go to Starbucks, right?
Uh-huh.
And you get a Starbucks, you're like, oh my God, look at my PSL, right? And you're going to post it on your Facebook because everyone wants a PSL now and they go to Starbucks. But who gets paid when you go to Starbucks is the Starbucks CEOs or whoever, right? Like, that's who gets your money.
Yes, that is called a franchise, and it's a
So I'm gonna-
pumpkin spice latte. Buddy.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have to revert to,
So,
I'm dumb. I don't know what PSL
Yeah, I didn't
means.
either.
PSL, pumpkin spice latte.
Golly.
Sorry,
You
hashtag
could
Google.
have given me 1,000 guesses.
I would not have guessed.
I think I would have guessed pumpkin spice latte
I was lost.
at probably 627 if y'all gave me clues if I got a word right in there.
Oh man, yeah. I was so lost too.
Yeah. So,
I
anyways,
thought
you're
we
going
were
to
talking
promote
about, like,
that.
Yeah.
Calories or something. That was a new way.
Or you promote Amazon, or you promote your favorite T-shirt, or you promote Under Armour, Lululemon, all the things, right? But you're not getting paid for any of that, right?
I
But
don't.
when I promote my products that I sell and that I live by and that I love, when you purchase, I get a cut of that as well. Like, you're helping me out as a business instead of helping out Starbucks or Lululemon or whoever, Nike. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we were going to promote your actual business, how would we promote your business?
Well, I can give you links. Like, I mean, it depends on what you're into. You could be into weight loss. You could be into looking younger, anti-aging. You
I'm
could be
more
into
into-
skin care, body care, oral care, household care, gut health.
Well, you heard Dustin when we took the picture of us three here in the studio with the crickets. You heard Dustin say, "Oh, I look fat in that." So he probably needs some weight help.
I can definitely help out with that.
Ricky.
He's also the
Definitely.
skinniest of
And-
all three of us.
And it's actually, it's one of our top selling products. So we'll help you out. We'll help you clean out your guts first off. And then we'll help you boost your metabolism. And then also give you this product that helps you inhibit your fat storage. Now, it's not a pill that's going to like, oh my gosh, you're going to, make me skinny forever, right? But it will inhibit more fat from forming.
So it's not like one of those super weight loss pills or whatever. It just kind of
I mean, it can be. There's
Okay.
people that have lost 250 pounds using it, right? But it's also, you have to understand that it's not like everyone claims that it's a get skinny quick thing, right? And
Yeah.
it's a get, fit over time, and it's a nutrition thing. It's not necessarily, you don't want to lose, 50 pounds in a month because that's unhealthy, right? You're doing it in a nutritious way.
Okay.
But people do lose a lot of weight on it. There has been people that have lost over 250 pounds, and it is impressive. I've lost 18, but I'm also in a skinnier frame too. So I don't know how much y'all would lose, but
Yeah, if you lost 250, I'd be terrified for you. You'd
if
be
I lost 250, I wouldn't
donating
exist.
your eyeballs.
Yeah.
I would be negative. I don't even know. Math is hard, but
Like
I
her
wouldn't
and one of
Here
her
comes
family
that math
members.
again.
Like
Yeah.
you would have to
it would be
sacrifice a
double
family
me
member.
by
All right. So
bucks. Call a friend.
what got you into that part of your business?
So I had followed these two people for like 6 years at the time. This was like 2 years ago in January. Okay, so now it's been almost 8 years that I followed them. And I watched them reverse aging, right? I watched them. I was like, oh my gosh, they look beautiful and beautiful every day. Like, what the heck? And so I had watched them and followed them for like 6 years. And I'm like, well, if it works for them over time and 6-year period, then it's got to work for me. So I just jumped all in. I went with weight loss. I went with skincare. I went with, anti-aging. I went with all the things and jumped in 2 years ago. And if you look at my side by side from 2 years ago to now, even 7 weeks later, I was looking good, right? It was taking my skin and making it a little look like I had a filter on, but I didn't. So stuff works. It does. And I still use it 2 years later. Now here they are 8 years later. I think they've been doing it for 13 years, but for me, 8 years.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're taking years off, how are you going to make it to 100?
Exactly. So I'm going to look like I'm 21
question.
when I'm 100. Do you get that?
You'd have to stop using the products for 10 years. 10 years off, 10 years on.
Yeah,
No,
to make it.
Like a
why would I
firefighter.
wanna look like I'm old? Okay, who recently died? Was it Christy Brinkley? She was like in her
No,
80s.
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley. Well, I was close. And she looked gorgeous. And she was like, what, in her 70s or 80s? I was like, dang, she looked like she's 35. So, I don't have enough money to go to Hollywood and do all the Botox and the plastic surgeries and all the things.
You just have to remember
this is the cheaper way.
to check the colon.
Wait, what?
And you know what?
She died of colon cancer.
Oh, Kirstie Alley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Oh,
I did.
well,
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but she's like I didn't realize she was 71 years old.
yeah, she was
Like, I remember.
I was like,
I mean, she's pretty much, I guess, part of my childhood on.
I was going to say her
movies.
career was over when you were born,
No, it
pretty
wasn't.
much. So
It was not.
she was on
funny?
Cheers.
She had some good movies that came out. Look Who's Talking. That was during my time.
Is he funny?
It was funny
She's funny. Okay.
with John Travolta. Yeah.
he died a few years ago too, like 10 years
John
ago.
Travolta is still
alive.
alive.
I don't think Travolta's dead.
Travolta is alive
Yeah.
and well. He's weird.
Scientology.
Dirty Dancing
his,
guy?
his son, or one of his kids died.
Swayze?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're Patrick Swayze.
Oh yeah, that guy. That's
he
the guy
die?
that I was thinking of. They look the same.
Yeah, he
I
gone.
think so.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, he died like 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Was it 10 years ago?
Hold on.
I
Google
don't know,
bitches.
maybe 8.
All one of you.
There's no bitches in the chat.
There's not. We're really dead tonight, fellas. Let's look.
Swayze's gone?
Are you sure? Oh, Pat.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Maybe it was like 5 years ago.
I don't-
Maybe it's 3. I don't know. That's fine.
You spell his last name S-W-A-Z-Z-Y, right?
A-Z-Y. A-Z-E-Y. I don't know. Patrick?
Like he's not famous enough for an autofill.
That's how I'd get there.
Oh, damn, he did die.
Right.
September 14th of 2009. Where the fuck have I been?
2009. That was over 10 years ago.
2009. Wow. Wow.
So we're 13 years back. Did you want math right
Hold
there?
on.
Hack.
Wikipedia's want me to donate. No.
Do the right thing, buddy.
Patrick Wayne Swayze. Damn, I didn't know he was dead. He was only born in 52.
That's
That's
when
not very old
that's
at
when Look
all.
Who's Talking came out, I think.
Thanks.
I don't think that's
No,
accurate.
it was not.
Well, y'all got phones. Somebody, what year did that movie
Look
come
Who's
out?
Talking. You want to
Yeah.
know that one?
You were born in 94.
I was not born in
Yes, you
94.
fucking were. Don't talk to me like that. You were born in 1993.
92.
Well, let's not just give it all out.
I think we've already said your
Who's
birthday on
Talking
here.
is 1989. 1989. I was not born yet. You were correct.
Yes, I was.
Got Travolta, Kirstie Alley.
All right, Laura, what's your favorite movie as a child? Like your favorite childhood movie?
Oh.
I figured out, I
You
realized
just
I
need
was,
more confidence. You're saying sentences.
I know, I realized I was asking it a funny way.
I don't really know.
You didn't have like a go-to where you, as a kid, you were so busy, so distracted, you
Yeah.
didn't watch movies either? That's why you never saw Top
Yeah,
Gun?
pretty much. Yeah.
Did you ever watch
Is that
Beetlejuice?
the name of it?
Yeah, you watched
No.
Beetlejuice.
She said
No,
no.
I didn't.
Oh my god.
What is
So
your
bad for you.
What is your first memory? Like your first actual like memory. Not something that somebody's told you about, but something you actually remember kind of happening.
Oh my gosh, you do not want to know. So, I'm such an adventurous soul, even since my first memory. You sure you want to know this story?
100%.
Yes.
It's a really bad story. Okay. Well, I was in kindergarten, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, my mother worked at like this child care place. And so Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'd have to ride the van to get over to the child care place. Well, I forgot to ride the van one day. So I walked home and then I realized the door was locked. And then I was like, oh, crap. I should have rode the van today because I guess she's working. And so I decided to walk across town as a kid by myself, whatever.
How old were you?
And
5?
then I was like 5, yeah. I was either 5 or 6.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I was 5. But anyways, I get to this, Wilshire Boulevard, which is 6 lanes plus a suicide lane, right?
Wilshire Boulevard?
The suicide lane no longer
Wilshire?
exists.
Oh, well,
Wilshire?
back in the day it
Quick up.
did.
Yeah.
Wilshire, yeah.
174.
And people just flew down. There's no stoplights down there. And people just flew down. So I'm this like kid trying to cross this 7-lane highway. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get across. And I see, the childcare center on the other side. And so this dude pulls up in this old pickup truck that's green. And he opens the door. And he has like spirals coming out of his seat. Because I guess his seat covers had like,
You got the spring
it was
shooting
just
out.
such an old truck. Yeah, I got the spring shooting out. And he's like, hey, you need a ride? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm just trying to get across the street.
God,
Oh
You're
my
like,
gosh.
You're like,
Laura.
I don't know. Do you
Laura.
have candy?
I almost died just getting across. Oh my gosh. And so he was like, oh yeah, I know someone that works over there. And so I hopped in the truck with this dude and he did. He took me across the street.
Oh, thank
and then
God.
I ran in. He did. He took me across the street and he actually legit knew someone. So there are good people in the world who drive crappy trucks. And then I ran in and my mom was like crying. She was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, yeah, I didn't really think. Again, I don't think before I do. I just do it and then think later. And she's like, you could have died. You could have been kidnapped. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. He just asked me if I wanted to ride, and I said yes. So, yeah, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers. It's not good. But he was really nice. And,
Well, this was back
yeah,
in the
something like
80s
that.
when you could trust people.
Shit.
yeah, this
Serial
was back
killers
in
were still around
in
in the 80s.
Like
21 years ago. This was back 15 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cell phones, everything. You had it all. That is an amazing first memory.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like-
That's my first memory. I mean, you sober up real quick whenever you get in some dude's truck, right? So,
I mean, maybe not when you're 6
mean-
or 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a.
You were just there
I
for
think
the
whenever
adventure.
anything, I was. That's how I live my life. I'm always there for the adventure. Just do now, think later.
Yeah, don't make decisions. Let the drink and do the thinking. I don't know. I don't even know that.
Can do the thinking.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
It's
your
the chocolate
intuition.
milk talking, mister.
I
I
was
shouldn't
about
have
to
gotten in your truck.
Still on the bottle.
I had like 6 juices earlier.
I was gonna say intuition, but your gut feeling. If it feels safe, why not?
Yeah, if he has kind eyes, I say get in that van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have a
It
candy
worked out.
cane?
I don't think he did. No, it was just
Didn't even offer candy.
niceties. He opened his door. He opened my door for me. I mean,
Aw, sounds like a good dude.
well, it was from the inside, so I mean,
Shit.
nowadays I want you to do it from the outside, but
That makes sense. That is an insane first memory. What was your first job?
oh man,
Fast taco.
my first job was fast food. Yeah,
But not fast taco.
not fast taco.
So
No, it was fast food though.
Was it
uh,
freaky fast? About to bust her.
No,
Oh.
it was not.
We didn't have Freaky Fast around 15 years ago. Come on.
I don't even know what freaky
I don't
fast
know
is.
what
Is that,
y'all's
like,
timeline is, okay?
That's,
You're 45 years old.
45.
She's using these
I'm
skincare
not 45.
products. She's using these
You know,
products.
after-
She said she was.
So what happens is you start losing collagen around the age of 25. And
Fuck.
collagen is basically what keeps your skin together, which is why you start having the wrinkles, everything starts sagging, all the things, right? So
Whoa.
if you start using skincare products before you're 25, you're not going to lose that collagen out of your body that keeps your stuff together. So you're not going to be sagging at all,
Well, I don't
right?
sag.
You're not going to get this. Well,
you will
You will.
eventually.
No, not
You
with our
will.
oily ass faces.
It's not just your face.
You talking about my tits?
Oh, maybe. There's other things.
Oh, I got you.
So, you said fast food. Was it Dairy Queen?
Okay.
Dairy Queen.
It was a fast food restaurant.
You're not going to disclose that information?
If
I'm
this
not
was,
going to disclose that information.
Why not?
it's only 15 years ago.
It's only 15 years ago.
Why don't you want to disclose that information?
You know, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Jack
though.
and the Crab.
It sounds like you're not good
Whoa.
at maps or chronology. Those are not two of your strong suits.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm
Like-
lost in this whole
Probably
timeline.
Spitting a lot of food.
That's okay. I'm lost pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you're
welcome
bad at
to it.
maps.
Yeah, she lives in
Yeah.
Virginia.
And she loves
She's trying to make it back to Texas. She doesn't even know where she's at.
Are you trying to make it back to
Ireland.
Texas?
I went to Ireland somewhere in the middle. I'm not really sure exactly.
Got him.
I think it's somewhere around Tennessee.
Nice. All right. So you don't want to talk about where you had your first job for some reason. What? I now wonder what she did there. Why is she ashamed?
I don't know. Must be ice cream.
It was fast food.
We know
Yeah,
it's fast
okay.
food. We
It's
get
probably
that.
McDonald's.
Like my first job was Fast Taco. Steve,
Yeah, it
what was
was
your
flipping
first
burgers.
job?
Jack in the Box, the one on
Really?
Camp Bowie West and Cherry Lane.
Nice.
And I was 14,
Were
and I
tacos still
forged
99
my
cents?
birth certificate, and they should
I was
be.
fixing to say, is that even legal?
I was also 14.
Are you
And then-
really?
Yeah. And then when the owners realized, it was like, you got to go. Come back in a year. So I did. I came back in a year. I was at, what's that middle school? Hughes.
Hughes. The
Right.
Huskies.
Yeah, I go
The
from
Hughes Husky.
Hughes Middle School. We weren't the Huskies at the time. We're the Elks.
Oh, Lena just texted me.
Oh, but then all these liberals, you had to change it to the
Went
Huskies.
from-
Whoa, what?
I went from Hughes Middle School. Everybody was the Elks. Once you went past elementary school, everybody was the Elks.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Why would the middle school and high school be the same animal?
Because we only had one high school, one middle school.
Uh,
Why would it be a different one?
True.
Because of how schools normally are.
Or is that different? Is it okay? Maybe Burleson was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I grew up. Well, you grew up in a place where y'all had multiple. No, you didn't. You're a Benbrook, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had multiple high schools in Benbrook, right?
We didn't have.
Not back then.
No, everybody went to the same high school.
Where'd Montre go?
I think Montre went to Arlington Heights, but that's because
That's Fort Worth.
He didn't live in Pembroke at the time.
Okay, interesting. So I went from Hughes Middle School, where I was a Burleson Elk, to Fast Taco when I was 14 years old.
Huh.
And then they fired me. They released me the same day I found out my granddad had cancer. That's cool.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You said, "Hey, couldn't you keep me on illegally for a few more weeks? I just got some bad news."
The guy's name was. Go ahead.
Why'd your parents let you work at 14?
Did they know you were applying?
Yeah, they picked me up and dropped me off.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
felt
why
like,
did my parents let me work at? Oh, I just made some shit up. I know they weren't.
No. I
down
felt like
with it.
it was a normal thing to work at 14. And maybe Fast Taco was just doing some illegal shit, and we've kind of, I don't know. Maybe I was 15. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I had like 4 or 5 jobs before I was
I'm
old
gonna-
enough to work.
Maybe I should have taken Laura's stance on it and not said the first place I worked
Oh,
at.
come on. First, you're acting like people would give a shit. Secondly, you're acting like people hear this podcast.
Fair.
And
It might blow up one day.
and thirdly, statute of limitations.
Oh, it's been
You're
a long
52
time.
years old. Do the math. 14, 52 minus. You get it.
Halfway to that 100 mark.
Why do you keep making me older and older? Am I looking that much older? While
38 years
ago.
ago.
38 years ago. God damn.
Damn, it's been a long time.
That's what you call slow, fast math.
All right. So what else? What other jobs do you do now, or what other activities do you do now?
So I have that. And then I also have Airbnb,
Oh,
which
Nice.
is really nice.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
at?
that's
Virginia?
pretty passive. In Virginia, yes.
Huh. People like to do
Yeah.
that out there?
Do you have multiple properties or just
Oh
one?
yeah. Just the one at the moment. I'm looking into multiple properties at this moment actually, because it is a pretty lucrative business. So it's pretty passive. You know, you do have to be in your inbox, but you can set up automated messages as well. So it's pretty passive income if you're looking for something like that. Way.
Okay. So
Pretty nice.
besides where you and your 2 roommates are living now, do you have another property?
No, that's what I'm looking into
Okay.
actually. I've been in the market for about 6 months, but right now is not the market to be in because rents are high, mortgages are high. So I'm scouting out. I know what's around the area, so as soon as rents mortgages go down,
Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna pounce.
bubble's
I don't know if I'm
gonna
gonna buy or rent, but
this bubble's gonna pop or decrease or something.
hmm
'Cause
yeah,
I'm-
I'm forever going to open houses because they're free to get into, and you can see what's around you. And so I know exactly, what this area is and what I'm looking for, and just waiting for the pricing to go down.
you scoping out some of those snacks.
Yeah, you get the cookies.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Do you go to so many open houses that the realtors recognize you? Realtors?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Say it with
oh
some.
yeah. Realtor.
Realtors.
I feel like it's a better inflection if I say the wrong thing and then realize I said it wrong.
But is it really wrong?
Yeah, you say it right.
Is that right? Realtors or realtors?
No.
Well,
It's
it's
like
one of the dumbest words in the English language. Yeah, it's realtor. So there's really
Yeah, true.
only different ways to say it wrong.
Realtor?
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, you nailed it. You did great. You're doing good every
So
time.
what's the actual word?
Realtor.
That's what I said.
I know.
Yeah.
Not the first
I
time.
said realtor.
And I corrected it to realtor.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying like if Skeletor was a realtor.
I said Skeletor. I said it sounded like Skeletor.
Oh.
All
shit.
right. It was a combo plate.
Yeah, it's weird. Back
We
to your
got,
taco days.
So I forgot what my question was when y'all got
Something about-
Do
distracted.
you
by
Something
work.
see
about
the same
realtors.
realtors?
Yeah. Do you see the same realtors when you go to
Oh
that?
yeah, like yeah, and people do it all the time. I mean, you got to think investors are always out looking for places. You're always gonna be able to scout. So I mean, you're gonna get to know your people.
So are
I mean,
you
that's just it is what it is.
like in touch with a realtor that is looking for properties for you?
So I do have my realtor, yes, and he does send me the MLS, which I don't know what MLS stands for, so don't ask me because I
Oh.
don't know.
Hold on, we got a mortgage
But
lender in
basically-
the chat. She'll tell us.
Mortgage listing something. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I think
MLS
that's it.
is. but
Mortgage
anyways,
listing something.
Yeah, sales.
Nice.
I don't know. Don't get me lying, but like he'll send me those through email. But then there's also HomeSnap. I love HomeSnap, and I just go on that, see what's open in the area, and they tell you like if it's purple, it'll be an open house on Saturday, Sunday, whenever it is. They'll tell you the hours, and just go inside.
That's what I call
Open
all
house.
my boys.
So when you decide to buy a place, do you have a lending broker yet?
I do have a lender that I used when I bought my house. Yes.
Oh.
So I might or might not go through him again, but he was amazing. He's done my house. He did my house when I bought it, and he did it when I refinanced as well.
So not to bring down the mood.
Are going to bring down the mood?
I'm gonna bring it down.
Sad about Swayze still.
No, we just found out this weekend that the realtor that we used to find this house passed away in a car accident.
Oh,
Really?
no.
Yeah, sucks. She was only in her early 50s. Super sweet
Oh
lady.
my gosh.
Yeah, that did bring down the mood.
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
I had to give her a shout out though.
Well, Laura,
Oh,
If
that was
you-
nice of you.
if you need a loan agent, we have one that sponsors our show. That's Lena Sims.
She's licensed here in Texas.
And yeah, that's MLS 1193345. You can find her on Facebook at Texas Lending
Made easy.
Made Easy.
Nice.
So if you decide to
Okay.
move,
Well, thank you for that.
if you want to Airbnb
And I think they
in
do it all over
Texas-
the.
Wait.
You can Airbnb anywhere you want.
So no. I think they brought up another question that I did not even know I had. Is a mortgage lender devoted just to her state, or can she do everywhere?
She can lend in Texas
I
and
don't-
outside of the state.
Okay.
I think it depends on where they're at, because like my mortgage lender is in Missouri, so he's nowhere near me, and we just did everything on the phone.
Yeah, that's.
And
she-
so I don't know
half-time-
about her, but
Yeah,
same thing.
she said the same thing in the chat. She said I can lend in Texas
Yeah.
and outside the state.
I had one more question, but now I forgot it.
You know what?
I don't know.
Those crickets though.
Derail everything.
Are the crickets really that loud? I
They-
can't
I-
hear
I
them.
like 'em.
I
They're
must not
very-
have a lot of music in my cans.
They're very comforting. And we don't have those in the city. We have cars, we have sirens, we have airplanes.
Oh,
we don't
look,
have
brings
crickets.
you back to Texas, huh?
Okay, you need to quit stunting on us
Whoa,
with your
whoa,
big city, Virginia. Fucking, we got cars and airplanes and shit too. All right.
Yeah, you also have front yards and backyards. Like my
And side
front
yards.
yard is.
You don't know
bricks,
if I have a front
okay?
yard.
He really
My
doesn't
front
have much
yard,
of a front yard.
I have like 10 feet to the street. It's not anything but bricks.
Ooh, do you have
and
a
front
stoop?
I do.
She just said stoop. Y'all said stoop
are
at the same
sexy,
time.
man.
Y'all
I
stooped
did.
each other.
My wife used to live in the Northeast, and she's like, man,
Yeah.
I miss stoop.
What's a stoop?
What's a
It's-
stoop?
Is it like Snoop?
It's basically like a front porch,
It's
but it's
just
nothing.
a few
It's like
stairs,
it's
but
a stoop. Yeah.
If you had like a 40 and a paper bag, you're like, I'm just chilling on a stoop.
Do you currently have a stoop?
I
It ain't a
do.
real stoop.
But I feel like it
my,
kinda is.
It leads to my super corny front yard that I have.
Do I
But
have
you
a
have a
stoop?
little concrete block with steps going up to it. Is that
Yeah.
a stoop?
And your
I mean,
front door
maybe
is not
technically,
in front
but-
of the steps.
No. It's-
If it has a porch attached, it's not a stoop.
Oh, you got a little porch.
Yeah.
okay, so
It
a
is
stoop
not a
is uncovered.
It's literally just stairs going up to a house, and there's not really any place to put anything else. Like it's legit
Oh.
just stairs to get up to a house with a little platform
You've
as you're
seen-
walking in the door.
Like Full
You've
House?
seen The Cosby Show.
Oh.
I'll just name it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You ever drink a 40 out there?
No, she wants to live till 100. She doesn't drink.
You don't drink, Laura?
No.
Oh, that was a...
You sounded like you're 100 when you answered that question.
I drink, but I'm more a wine girl.
Oh, wino.
Oh, they make 40-ounce rosé.
I think we really lost her.
It was getting sketchy. And she...
Yeah, get a little
Yeah, my
sketch.
AirPods are about to die.
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right, do you want to wrap it up then?
Oh, she's been sitting in her car, I'm sure.
They make what? 48 bros? No, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Take out your AirPods and let's go to straight phone for a minute.
Yeah, it's
And
getting sketchy. It is getting sketchy.
Yeah, then we'll go ahead and just close out the show. Does
All right.
that sound good?
Sounds good.
We're
Don't
having
be a
technical difficulties, but this episode is brought to you by 40-ounce rosé. When you want to look like a badass on your stoop, but you're kind of a wine girl. That's 40ouncerosé.com.
Now do a black guy.
Ah, shit. And while you guys are sorting that out, this episode is brought to you by squatters' rights. According to an expert, you have to be there, depending on the state, at least 10 years.
Oh, I'm kind of dumb. All right,
No, hey.
hey,
Me and Dusty are dumb,
Good
too.
things into-
we're all
Oh,
kind of
geez.
dumb.
Yeah, you're not in it alone, bud.
Oh, good.
All right, Laura, the way we normally end this is we have our guests say one thing that they like about each of us. So you do that while this music's playing, and we'll get out of here.
So, what's your favorite part about Dustin?
God bless.
Well, I don't really know which voice is what,
Oh.
but I know it's a lot harder whenever you're doing it on the phone versus
Yeah.
being in real person. But
Oh, we sound different?
You do.
So
You
I feel like I
kinda the
sound.
same.
I feel like I sound the most different. So obviously,
do.
I'm your number one.
Well,
Obviously.
she knows you, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
Yeah.
rank us.
Yeah. So rank us from 1 to 3
God bless.
on a scale of
1, 2, 3.
perfect.
Nice. You suck. It's good to be second best.
We went in order, so it goes me, Steve-O, then Dustin. Good ranking.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Thanks.
I'm
Okay.
definitely right.
Turn your radio back up.
I'm glad you can help me out.
Laura,
I'm glad
thank
you
you,
can be my eyes.
thank you so much for joining us and telling 90% of your story that you told us today. And I know I kept asking bullshit questions that you didn't want to answer. And my apology for not recognizing that you're avoiding the question for a reason. I'm kind of slow sometimes. But
Sometimes it's all right.
yeah. But I'm glad you came on. I thought this was fun. Did y'all enjoy it?
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
liked it.
I got. Why are you laughing at me, Steve-O?
I'm just having a good time.
All right. So thanks for joining us. Do you want to promote any of your stuff right now?
It's been great. If you're ever in the want or need for health and wellness products, let me know. And if you ever want to be a hostess or host for Airbnb, let me know as well. And I got you to hook up and get you some links and some money discounts.
Do you want to share a link or whatever helps a way people can connect to you?
Social handle,
I'll give it to you to put it into the
show notes.
where people can click on it.
Okay, yeah. Can you just text it to me and then we can add it to the page?
Or they can just follow me at Laura Shoulders 3 on Instagram or Laura Shoulders on Facebook.
You want to spell that?
LauraShouldis. It's like Shoulders is shoulder with a lisp.
Or it's show?
Take off the ER, add an IS.
Shoulderless.
Should with an S?
Like an amputated shoulder.
That works too. But yeah.
The whole Kelly Clarkson thing.